I've never really told this story before, but I think it's time you know where all of this came from. The reason I talk so much about freedom, consistency, and never giving up is because I had to fight for mine. People see the lifestyle now, the travel, the penthouse, the success, but they don't know about the nights I had nowhere to sleep. This is my story. From being homeless to living free through the internet. Whew. When I was 18, I thought I had it all figured out. I left my hometown and moved to the city, to the capital, to chase success, volleyball, and freedom. My mom begged me to stay. She said, just ride the bus back and forth like you're already doing to go to college. You're not ready yet. But I thought, you know, I thought I knew better. One day, someone came to my classroom in college announcing tryouts for the new men's volleyball team. I had always been that guy, tall, athletic, the one everyone wanted on their team. And I always loved volleyball. Volleyball was my sport. Like, it's still my sport. So, of course, I tried out and I made the team. And the best part, it came with a scholarship. Then something even crazier happened. The junior national team coach noticed me at my first um, college tournament, and he called me and invited me to train with them, and told me that I would have to move into the Olympic Center. You guessed it, in the city. So that meant living there for free, training 3 times a day, and becoming part of the junior national team. I mean, that was just, it was mind blowing. I thought, wow, this is it. I made it. So right after that, what happened is that I started training with the junior national team, and I saw some other people my age there that were just as talented and as skilled as me, and I became friends with a lot of them there because we literally like we basically just lived together in dorms and stuff like that. So it was really fun, and I started noticing that I had no supervision, like really, for like there. My mom was not there. I didn't have anybody like watching my every move or like supervising anything really. So it was definitely like getting to a space where I was unsupervised, like an adult, really, because 18, you're an adult already. So um, I basically convinced like 11 other of my teammates that already trained with me on the national team to join my my university team. I even offered some scholarships and everything, which later got approved, thankfully, because I offered them with no guarantee. But of course, um, the director of the sports department for my university was thrilled. He was so happy I did that because, I mean, basically now that university had a professional level national team as their own college team. So of course um, we won like the following two championships, like the national college championships. We won it because why would we lose? I mean, everyone there was just in shape, training at the highest level. It was just crazy. Um, the director for the sports department in my college was so happy with me. He would give me gifts and he would just give me this freedom to do anything I wanted. Because I definitely brought gold and brought glory to the university that never had um, any medals, any trophies when it came to sports. So that was like a really big thing. So I was that leader, even though I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't like the best player on my team. I was the leader who made that happen, like who made that reunion, who made that team happen, who made all of those talented, skilled, professional level training um, athletes come together for that one team. And that was something unheard of. And I have always been that like leader. kind of encouraging and always motivating people around me. That's just part of me. And I did that because I saw that just as me, they were unsupervised and they were like living their lives. As I like once I got there, I already had a scholarship and I was already going to school. They didn't have the same opportunity to be already like enrolled in any university or like taking classes or anything or like doing something with their time in the city because all of us were like from different towns from all around the country, and then we all got together there. We were all under the same situation, like finally unsupervised, far from home. So it was a liberating, invigorating experience, and it just feels really unreal. When I'm like when I think back at how that really felt like, and so I was like, yeah, why not? Make them join me in this so we could all like take advantage of like being in the national team because already figured out like if they offer me a scholarship and I am like training with the junior national team, then that means that anyone who's here has my level or maybe higher, so that means they are also worthy of getting a scholarship. And I just jump in and I offered it to them. I told them, hey, let's get. I mean, I even went with them to get some like records, like papers. I would go with them to do everything you know, to avoid them telling me, oh, I don't have this paper to sign up. I don't have this. I don't have that. I would go with them and like avoid and like jump over those excuses. Later on, they of course thank me and everything, but what that did to me was that it gave me like a little like a fake power because I was known in college as the guy who made it happen, as the guy who got everyone together, as the guy who brought glory and gold to that university for the first time. And so every single teacher I have knew about that, and they would give me, passes like unlimited passes for anything I did. If I didn't turn in a report, oh, it's fine. If I skipped class, oh, it's fine. So go figure what that did to an 18-year-old, freshly um, out of home, far from home, unsupervised and everything. It's just crazy. How crazy. So that freedom, it turned into a distraction. I stopped training like I used to. I started skipping classes, keep skipping practices, and doing everything except what I was supposed to do. Eventually, I got kicked out of the team. I was too ashamed to tell my mom, so I pretended everything was fine. But the truth was, I had nowhere to go. I ended up sleeping on the streets. Every morning, I would shower at the university before class, carrying my soap, deodorant, and toothpaste in Ziploc bags. Um, I would sit in class pretending like everything was normal. But every night, I was just out there alone, broke, and lost, very lost. And I remember one night saying to myself, this is happening because I need a story to tell when I become successful. I didn't know it then, but that belief, that little thought kept me alive. I was pretty much just, laughing at myself, pretending like my own decisions didn't take me to that point. After months of that, the semester finally ended. And because I didn't want to go back home and listen to my mom's, I told you so. Maybe she would have, maybe she should have been more supportive and she would have told me, oh, no, it's okay. But I didn't want to face that because I was so sure that my life was just perfect now. and that I have made the right decision, and 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 that I was on my path to adulthood. And it was just so hard for me to just go back ashamed, and I just didn't tell my mom, and I didn't want to face that, and I didn't want to face that reality going back to my hometown and people seeing me like a loser, like a failure, like, oh, he's back. I mean, he got kicked out, and so I just pretended that everything was fine, and I just stayed in the city, even not having a place to go, not having a place to sleep on. So it was definitely hard. And but I was so positive at the moment that I don't know really, like I don't really know why my mind was always focused on like, this is temporary. This is just something that's happening now, and but I know um this is not going to be forever. So I got a job later on at a call center, a job that I didn't really like, because that job like required me to slave myself for like nine to from like 8 to 9 hours a day. And I didn't make that much money. Like that's when I actually learned how much things cost, because I would be eating, premium food. I would be, not having to worry to pay rent or anything like that. I didn't pay for clothing because I always had either 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 the national team's clothing, like the attire, or college. I would rarely be like wearing my own clothes. So I wanted, like, I never worry about that. And if I had like like a special event that required me to wear like some formal clothes or something like that, someone would buy it for me. So it was definitely a a shock for me to see how, like, what things really cost. Because remember, I come from a home that I never had to worry about, what I buy or anything like that, because I was a child still. Like I was being, my mom was just supporting everything and like getting everything. So I went from my mom getting everything to the school and the national team getting everything, to being all on my own out of the blue. It was definitely something. It was a hard experience, but it was cool because I learned from it. So it was worth it, I guess. Um, what happened after that is that I definitely didn't like the job, because I didn't feel like I was living my life during those 9 hours locked in a place because I had to do a job. It was definitely not my cup of tea. I just remember not being able to sit down and just breathe and look at the sky at 10 a.m. in the morning. That was like something that always went through my mind. Like, I don't know why, but then I learned that I have always been able to do that. Like after I wake up very early in the morning, like 5:30 or 6 or something, I would train, I would eat breakfast, I would be, I would take a shower, I would get ready, and I would have time to just sit down like from 9:30 to like 10:30, and just enjoy the morning, enjoy like that. I don't know what is it about that time, like about that particular time frame uh, during the morning, that I enjoy so much, and that I enjoy being able to enjoy it, like being able to look at the sky. How beautiful is it? Even if it wasn't sunny, it's just about the freedom of just enjoying those little things. So I was definitely miserable in that job, and and the pay there was not really great. I started running um in the afternoon to like, to like spend some time afternoon, right after I left the job. was a 9 to 5, but I always ended up at 6 because for some reason they would give you like an hour to like for breaks, but you could only take those breaks within those I don't know, it was a 9 to 6. That's it. So I left at 6 and I would run by the beach. And there I saw someone um doing like a Zumba class. A bunch of people in there, and that looked fun. Like that looked like those people were having a blast. It was definitely so cool to like I enjoyed watching it. And I just, I I approached the teacher and I was like, "Hey, can I join?" Like, yeah, this is a public class. Um, the the city the city government, the city council pays for it. So this is like a public class for it's not really free because you already pay for it with your taxes, whatever. So yeah, just come and join. And I joined there and I started just dancing and I loved it because I was, working out, I was having fun and I was meeting new people. And I always have this huge smile. I'm 6'3". So the teacher approached me after a few classes. She was like, You have potential to be an instructor. Why don't you get Zumba certified?" And I was like, "Sure thing. Like, do they pay for this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." They they pay for it. So I started teaching Zumba classes. I got Zumba certified, and it was just um another adventure that I started in my life right there. So what happened after that is that one of those days that I was teaching, I became very popular in the city because again I was this former um, national team high performance athlete who who's now teaching Zumba classes. So it was definitely very easy to become popular. So it was cool. It was cool. I loved it. I love that attention because that turned into more gigs. And those gigs were like 40 minutes here, 40 minutes there, and boom, we're gone. And so in one of those Zumba classes that I was teaching, I met the love of my life, who I definitely encouraged later to become also a Zumba instructor just like me. Then we became this Zumba power couple in the city, and we would get invited to like major fitness events there, and like we were just everywhere. We were featured in like morning talk shows. We were go. It was definitely like we were having success there. Success was coming back, and it was definitely um very fun, and I love my job, and it was just unreal. Like I was getting like real like real money doing something that I loved, and it was like performing, teaching, getting hired for events, and finally living our dream there. But then COVID hit. Overnight, all of our classes, all of our income gone. I remember sitting there and saying to myself, not again. I'm not going back to being homeless. That's when I made a decision, and I was going to learn how to make money online, because if fitness was not an option anymore because of the lockdown and the quarantine and all that, then I had to find a way. I became obsessed. I studied, I tested, I failed, but I learned and I kept going. Slowly, I started building income streams with like Fiverr gigs, affiliate marketing, digital products, ebooks, and coaching. And one day, it finally clicked. The same discipline I learned in volleyball, the same consistency from Zumba, all of it came together in the digital world. Now we can call ourselves millionaires. We travel internationally several times a year. We stay at luxury resorts at least 8 times a year for like 8 days. We live in a penthouse and we work 100% online. But I'll never forget that kid, the one with the backpack full of Ziploc bags and hopes as a pillow on a park bench, because he's the reason I never quit. I really say that to you because that's why I do what I do today. I teach people how to build online income streams, how to take back their freedom, and how to create a life they love, no matter where they're starting from. Because I know what it feels like to lose everything, and I know what it takes to build it all back. If you're watching this right now, maybe your story isn't over. Maybe this is your turning point. And if you're ready to start building your own digital freedom, you can click in the link in the description and I'll show you exactly how I did it step by step. Or you can join my 10K a month club where I even coach you personally and all that. Um, Thank you again for watching my story. If it inspired you even a little, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because your story might just be the next one we tell. And I know how important it is for people, for me, to be able to build that kind of freedom, to build this kind of freedom. That I call it freedom, but it's literally like it's just power. The power to be wherever I want, whenever I want. Guys, it was like it felt like a like a prison to be like to have to be in certain places because I have to, to like follow a schedule and like do 9 hours here. And it was it felt I didn't like it. Didn't like it. And to be able to build this kind of freedom, one that no one could take away, no COVID, no, I had an injury, no, you're kicked out of here, no, no. To build this kind of freedom, I can teach you. I've seen people go through the same stuff or even worse things than I did, and I've seen them rise. But I've also seen some others who just don't. But if you are watching this video, it means you're one of those who actually have what it takes to build this kind of freedom. You can do it. I know you can. You have to commit yourself and you have to follow instructions. Click in the link below or just keep watching my content here. But don't just listen, take action. You have to take action. If you don't, then, it's not going to work. See you on the next one, guys. And this was my story.